Empezamos, gente, empezamos. Se viene, quinto aniversario, Dead by Daylight, Resident Evil. ¿Con qué van a empezar? Sepa la fregada. Mr. X, ojalá. Jill Valentine, ojalá. Dos Killer, ojalá. Dudo mucho que haya dos Killer. Uh. ¿Sí está en HD? Sí, ok. Cancelado por no traducir rápido. En su chat, no manches, no podría. Hace tiempo había un test de si sobrevivirías a un apocalipsis zombie y había decisiones muy duras como matar a tu familiar si era mordido. Y las personas decían que no y se quejaban de que el test le dijera que no sobrevivían sobrevivientes. Es que sí, mucha gente también dice... No, es muy fácil opinar cuando no estás en situación, pero ya en la situación uno nunca sabe. Por ejemplo, yo siempre, en esto de los apocalipsis, yo creo que sí sobreviviría porque trataría de mantenerme solo, ¿no? O alejarme de lugares muy llenos de gente y todo eso, porque pues de por sí ya lo hago siempre, ¿no? Pero ya en ese momento, quién sabe. Además depende del tipo de zombies, ¿no? Si es de los que afecta a los animales, pues ya valió. Prácticamente ya valimos todos. Si hay animales zombies, ya valimos. Cámara, dejen de comprar chatarra ahorita. Estoy viendo un stream. Yo creo que me suicidaría. ¡No!
Hello everyone.
Ah, mira, sí tiene subtítulos.
Fifth year celebration. How crazy is that? A huge thank you to our fans, the people who've been with us for years.
Pusieron un timer. Pusieron un timer para lo de Resident Evil. Si vienen a lo de Resident Evil, faltan 16 minutos. No estén fregando.
9 out of 10 by being the greatest asymmetrical multiplayer out there. 5 years from our humble beginnings to today.
Se va por 15 minutos.
Welcome to our old friends who've been with us for so long.
Vámonos entonces otros 15 minutos. Si es realidad de la cuenta regresiva tras la cuenta regresiva. Oigan, sí, otra cuenta regresiva, sí.
People who might be joining us for the first time, welcome. Grab a log by the campfire and enjoy the show.
Run of show. A ver. Corre el show, ¿no? Eso significa. Ok, ok. Ok, a partir de lo del año 6 no me interesa mucho lo demás, pero a ver qué sorpresas hay.
Now join me on a stroll down memory lane. Behavior's been making games for about 30 years now, mostly for other people, licenses and other publishers and developers. But all of us on the team, we have our own stories we want to tell. And one of those stories that we've been wanting to tell for a long time is the story of this fantasy, being a villain in a horror movie.
Qué chido está este...
Way back when, a decade
el set.
or so ago, people were telling us...
Es como el de los archivos.
I mean, unless you're like the big ones, like Silent Hill or Resident Evil, but really, don't even try. So we tried. We didn't give up. We released one as a comedic twist on this called Naughty Bear. If you don't know Naughty Bear, go check it out. It's magical. A little later on, though, we had one of our designers come up with a little prototype, a very simple hide-and-seek thing with someone trying to hide and do a
¿A Verónica? No manches.
and finished again.
Sácate a bañar.
It was so good. It was pure thumb candy. And we figured that by slapping on that skin of the 70s, 80s horror slasher flick, we were onto something remarkable. So we put the old band back together. We went and get Ash and Dave and Phil, and we put a team of about 30 talented, special people on it. And in June of 2016, Dead by Daylight came to be. One of the first key moments for us happened just a little before launch. So the first Halloween before launch, we showed it internally to the rest of the behavior people. I remember we put the killer on the big screen and we put the survivors in a different room and we had people play the game and there was a lot of excitement and it was really cool. And then we put the survivor on the big screen, and people went a little nuts, and we saw the crowd really gather and root for the little guy to survive. And we realized at that point that not only was Dead by Daylight going to be a great game, but it was going to make for an amazing show. And it led to us developing a close and really rewarding relationship with our content creators around the world. They helped make Dead by Daylight the success that it is today, and it really feels satisfying to be able to say that today we've made some good friends because of that. The next Halloween, after launch, when we added Michael Myers and Laurie Strode to the game from the original 1978 movie Halloween. At first, you know, we shipped the game with 2 killers and 4 survivors. Today, now, 5
3
years
killers.
down the line, we have 24 killers and 27 survivors. We've managed to build a world that is so rich, so deep, dripping with story, so that all of these other legends of horror, those iconic characters from all different media, were able to come into the game, and our own original content can stand proudly side by side with the likes of Freddy Krueger and Ghostface. Today, we're very proud to say that Dead by Daylight is now the Hall of Fame of horror. One thing that may have taken us by surprise a little bit is the depth of passion that our fans have shown us around the world. I am lucky enough that I was part of the delegation that was sent to meet people and to represent Dead by Daylight.
Me quedé dormido otra vez y un maestro me está diciendo que no me desconecte porque no calificó mi examen.
The love, the support, the passion that unites people from everywhere around the world with that crazy game that we've made. One of the things I think that led to that is probably our creative team's talent and skill and the dedication of their research to try to find universal bits of horror. And whether they get inspired by the folklore or mythology that lives under your bed, it still shows that what scares you can scare anybody else. Horror and fear are universal, and it brings people together. And that is kind of magical. Now, after all these years, the team has grown close together. And the people around the game, we're now over 300 people at Behavior working on this. There's people all around the world that are our collaborators, our partners. We've made more friends and you know, partners than I can count. We've also had more inside jokes than I can count. Maybe one day we'll tell you what really is at the bottom of that campfire. Maybe one day we'll explain why the jar of salty lips. And maybe you'll learn who is Jean-Marc Nelly. In the meantime, since I have an opportunity here, I would like to address something. At PAX a couple of years ago, I think it was in 2017, a journalist asked me about the state of the game, and they asked me about the team. And I answered them. Well, we were having some technical difficulties at the time. It was a bit of a rough patch, I won't lie. But I answered them saying that I thought we had done a pretty good job so far. For some reason, these words,
Su frase
people
icónica.
started using them willy-nilly. They started attaching these words to many, many things. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I love this team, and I love the work, the skill, the passion that has gone into it. I love this game. And if someone was to ask me again the same question, I do believe I would tell them again, I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
Otra vez. Ok.
The choices you make as you travel into the fog are of the utmost importance. Now you go. Make that choice.
¿Esto será en Twitch? Tal vez. Ah, caray, sí, creo que esto es en Twitch, a ver.
Type the number 1 or the number 2 into the chat.
Ahí voy, ahí voy. Votaré por el 2. Ya estoy en Twitch, ya puse el 2. Es que se está transmitiendo al mismo tiempo en YouTube y en Twitch. Pero ya lo puse en Twitch.
Whispers heard, and you will be rewarded.
Órale, es interesante. Os van a dar una recompensa dependiendo de lo que escoja el público. Por cierto, estos visuales están muy chidos. De los que usan en los aniversarios siempre me han gustado. Aunque tengo que decir, no es por ser gacho ni nada, estos son muy similares a los del año pasado. Y esperaba que hicieran algo diferente, pero no me molesta. No me molesta, me siguen gustando. Yohadiri, gracias por el foro, bienvenido. Bien, a ver, escogimos el 2 y... ¡Oh! Ay, no más, no voy a meter ese código súper largo ahorita en el juego. Quédenselo. O sáquenle captura y luego lo canjeamos, a ver si se puede. Terminando el stream lo canjeamos, a ver si es posible. ¿Será posible que regalen un skin? Estaría chido, ¿eh? Alguien sáquele captura, porfa. No quiero abrir el juego ahorita. $10 fragmentos nomás, ya sé. Bien poquito, es un nivel, pero bueno.
Hey horror fam, Darren Bowsman here, director of the previous Saw
Oh,
film,
mira.
Spiral from the Book of Saw, in theaters right now. I just want to take a moment and celebrate with everyone the 5
¿Ya está en cines? Bueno, en Estados Unidos.
Congratulations to the Behavior team. We are all incredibly happy that Saw gets to be part of your legacy.
Gracias, Alma.
Continues. Cheers.
Órale, es que chido. Saludos al director de Saw 2, 3, 4 y Spiral. Quiero ver la nueva, a ver qué tal. Gracias, Cars, gracias chicos. Ahorita lo canjeamos a ver si se puede. Yo quiero saber si gané la predicción o no. Todavía no, todavía no. Oye, te cambió el color del nombre. Ahora es naranja.
YouTube の方で Dead by Daylight を中心にゲーム実況動画生配信をさせていただいております。日本のフォグウィスパラーの一人、柏木ベルクラでございます。よろしくお願いします。そして視聴者の皆さんに質問です。もしあなたが霧の世界に連れ去られたとしたら、儀式に何を持っていきますか？ 1. 懐中電灯。2. 医療キット。3. 工具箱。そして4が鍵となってます。5周年ですよ。デッドバイデイライトが何千本も動画をアップロードしてきたんですけども、
Tenemos que votar por eso.
一緒に5年共に歩めたことがね、
el brillo. Quería un color como durazno, pero creo que no salió.
おめでとうございます。
Pero tapo un cacho de los subtítulos. ¿Neta? Ok, a ver. Chims me va a tapar.
My name is Meg Turney. I'm a cosplayer and a Dead by Daylight streamer. And my question for the audience is, which cosplay would make you cross the street on Halloween night? Is it 1, the Huntress, 2, the Wraith, 3, the Clown, or 4, the Doctor? For me, definitely the Doctor. I don't know how you would do those eyepieces, but I don't want to be anywhere near that. No.
De estos, ¿cuál me daría más miedo? Supongo que Wraith o el Doctor, sí.
Let us know. And of course, thank you so much.
Dale un besito a Chims. A ver.
And the devs. I've been so excited to be part of this community. And it's been a wonderful 5 years. Happy 5th anniversary. And here's to many more.
Ah, bueno, si es un cosplay, creo que pues, ninguno de ellos. Pero si fuera en la vida real, un monstruo de estos en la vida real.
Come play the piano! Music, you know how I love music. Play the piano. Yes? Well done.
Linda, linda la killer.
Right, well, if I'm gonna fucking be the Pyramid Head, I'm gonna play Pyramid Head. Let me get the head and start.
Oh, no más. Tiene un casco de Pyramid Head, qué chido.
Okay.
Oh, ve nomás. Qué loco.
you have cocks up. Wait.
Get her! Nada!
Go! Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
One of you's not gonna make it out.
Ah, se va a quedar con el otro.
Look, it's Romero. This is me. This is me right now.
Oh. Hizo el cosplay de Jane. Calaflow. Calaflow. ¿Cómo se pronuncia eso? Órale, es que buen cosplay. Bueno, está chida la playera. Oh, la máscara de Pig también está chida. Oh, el Bill. Hasta tiene el suéter y todo. Suena como coliflor, sí.
Spirited away. Oh no!
Ándale, estos chavos. Flower. Oh, ok. Hola, soy Kimchi. ¿Tú por qué no haces cosplay? No tengo lo que hace falta. Una cara y un cuerpo.
Thanks for joining my Dead by Daylight workout series. Alright, we're gonna start off with point at the killer. Point, point. Get off the couch and let's crouch. And pump, and pump. Don't be afraid. You know, just like before.
Chido. Oh. Oh, ok. Pensé que ya era lo de...
What is this?
Lo de Resident. Sí, ya es lo de Resident. Ya sigue lo de Resident.
No, hold on. Oh! Oh! It's Resident Evil! It's coming to Dead by Daylight! Oh my god, bro! What? Yo! 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 Fuck out of here! Yo! 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 No!
Si meten a Jill Valentine,
No!
consideraría volver a jugar de Survivor
I don't
forever.
even care. I don't even care about nothing else in the stream. Resident Evil is coming to fucking Dead by Daylight. I don't care about shit else in this. Nah, bruh. Nah. No.
¿Saldré yo en las reacciones? ¿Saldré yo así con cara de chimps todo el tiempo?
On behalf of everybody here at Behavior, congratulations on 25 years.
Yo creo que sí.
Over the years, our very own multiplayer action.
Wow, esa chica se está llorando.
DBD chapter when? I'm telling you.
No, porque no tienes un rostro.
5-year anniversary.
Te tenían que avisar, ¿no? Si fueran a utilizar tu material. Ah, no lo sé. Supongo.
Hello.
Esta chica sí que se tardó en reconocerlo de Dead by Daylight. Se quedó así de...
On behalf of everybody here
A ver, llora a lo mejor y sales. A ver, ahorita lloro.
You're fucking shitting me, right?
Ella sí la reconoció, en corto.
Real. This isn't actually
Pero reaccionando
happening,
porque
right?
usa mono. ¿Llora como el Banjo? ¿Cómo llora Banjo? Pero ahorita también no me convences.
I knew it.
Pues es vato y no suena Leon. No, yo creo que esto simplemente fue pues, un teaser. Bueno, es lo que es. No creo que sea definitivamente el sobreviviente. Podría ser Ethan, pero sería muy arriesgado que fuera Ethan. Por el modelo, ese que se ve. El que se ve en el teaser se parece mucho a Félix.
Anniversary DBD Umbrella Charm exclusive chapter item, June 2021.
Hi. On behalf of everybody here at Behavior, congratulations on 25 years of horror.
Ah, como con el Banjo. Ah, ya, perdón. No, es que pues, no sé. No hay comparación. Ahí viene, ya. Empezamos. Ya, es Nemesis. Ya con esto me dijeron que es Nemesis. Estamos en Raccoon City. Obviamente, porque es el 25 aniversario de Resident, tiene que ser algo icónico. Ya, es Nemesis. Tentáculo, Nemesis. Todos nos podemos ir al infierno. Oh, no ma. Pobre Meg. Y es el del remake. Nice. ¡Oh! Sí hicieron la combinación. Leon y Jill. Uf. Y son los del remake.
So we are proud and happy to finally be able to reveal the content of the Resident Evil chapter and be part of the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. As you may know,
F por
we've
Mr.
been
X.
hard at work on the graphical rework over the last year, and that's why we couldn't add any new map to the game. That's going to change with the Resident Evil chapter.
Eso, no
On the
mapa.
chapter release, you'll be able to visit the Raccoon City Police Department.
La estación de policía. Va a ser un mapa. Sí, pues sí. ¡Oh! ¡Qué chido! Y está corrompido por la entidad. ¡Qué chida estación! Vas a poder ir hasta el helicóptero en llamas. Ok. La biblioteca en el segundo piso. Ok. Los baños de la derecha. El cuarto de arte en el segundo piso también. La sala de conferencias abajo. ¿Estará la oficina de Star? Sí, es esta. Ah, no, esta es la oficina de abajo a la derecha. La sala de interrogación. Oye, este mapa se ve grande. Ve ese gancho. What? ¿Por qué está así? ¿Será una combinación del virus G con la entidad y por eso se ve así? La sala del unicornio. La oficina del jefe Irons. Que me compre DBD, dice. Hace poco estuvo en oferta, de hecho. Ahí está, esa es la oficina de Stars. Oye, ¿qué onda con este mapa? Está muy grande. O bueno, se ve que tiene muchas habitaciones. Pues no estar muy pasado de lanza esto para el killer. Sobre todo si es uno normal que no puede moverse rápido como espíritu o la enfermera. Tiene demasiados cuartos. El cuarto de guardado en el primer piso. La oficina Stars. Ah, la oficina donde le da la bienvenida a Leon. Es que no solamente tiene muchas habitaciones, sino que son 2 pisos. Va a ser una pesadilla para los killers este mapa. Ya lo puedo ver. Aún lo están desarrollando, no es el final. Pero por lo que se ve,
the teams put great effort to recreate the map from the remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3. So you'll see some iconic locations such as the main hall, the archive, the STARS office, and others in there. It's truly amazing. Like, if you played the remake, you can actually navigate around the map and recognize it perfectly.
sí, sí.
Of course, there's also going to be a twist in there, since the entity is doing its own nightmarish version of it. All right, let's talk about characters now. There is a lot of very interesting characters in the Resident Evil franchise, so it was very difficult to choose just one survivor, and that's why you're getting 2 for this chapter. The first one is Jill Valentine, the brilliant STARS. Her unique perk will highlight her intensive training.
Ah, caray, ¿solo tiene una perk?
In impossible situations.
¿Solo tiene una? Yo me esperaba que pusieran a Jill, pero la original, no la del remake. Pero no me quejo, para nada. El señor trae cosplay de Dwight. No creo. ¿O sí? ¿No es así su ropa normal? No creo que sea cosplay. El beso Chimps dio suerte. ¿Qué es queja? Dice. No, no es queja. ¿Cómo va a quejar de esa chulada?
The second survivor is Leon S. Kennedy.
Uf, hay para todos.
Been having the worst first day at work ever, and it's not going to be better in the realm of the entity. His unique perk.
No es Dwight, ¿cómo va a ser Dwight? Es un vato así vestido nomás.
His resilience and his goal-driven personality. There's also something really special about one of his perks.
Ah, ok, sí tienen varias. Ok.
With this perk, and under a certain condition, you will be able to spawn a unique item, a flashbang, inside the match.
Ah,
so
caray.
that's an item you don't need to equip in your loadout before the match. It's something that you will create within the match you're in.
Wow, eso suena muy loco. Dependiendo de los requisitos, ya veo a todos usando a Leon, la verdad. Que dijo que Leon puede crear una granada de luz dentro del juego. Bajo ciertos requisitos puede generar una granada. Espero que los requisitos sean muy específicos, muy exigentes y que nada más se pueda hacer una por la partida.
There's a lot of different monsters we could have used out of the Resident Evil franchise, but we chose the classic tyrant, the Nemesis.
No, hubieran escogido el verdadero Tyrant clásico.
With his special tentacle attack, the Nemesis is able to infect survivors. Infected survivors are going to be sick. They will cough, they will vomit, so they're going to be easier to spot.
Oh, va a ser como la plaga.
Vulnerable to the next tentacle attack, which will not infect them but will damage them instead. For each infected survivor, the Nemesis power grows, and his tentacle gain more reach. So he'll be able to attack over pallets, over vaults, and in some tricky places on the maps. But there's a way to get out of this infection for survivors. There are some vaccines around the map that can be used to get out of this infection. But there is a limited quantity, so make sure that you absolutely need it before taking it. The Nemesis unique perks will make you feel like an unstoppable hunter that can use both brains and brawn.
Bueno, con todo lo que nos están enseñando ahorita y la forma en la que están hablando, no va a estar disponible la beta hoy.
This killer is assisted by AI.
¿Va a tener zombies?
We are adding zombies to the maps when you are facing the Nemesis.
Nice.
Zombies are patrolling the area, and survivors need to be careful of both Nemesis and them so that they don't get bitten and infected.
Oh, qué chido. Por eso habíamos escuchado sonidos de zombie en el teaser. Eso era algo que habíamos estado debatiendo, que es obvio que no va a ser un zombie el killer, pero ¿por qué se escuchan los zombies? ¿Era nada más una referencia a Resident o tendría algo que ver con el gameplay? Y pues sí, tiene algo que ver con el gameplay. Los puños del Nemesis. Oh, no ma. ¡Ay! Es precisamente por eso como que yo sentía que Nemesis no quedaba mucho en DBD. Porque él puede romper paredes de concreto como si nada. Pero aquí lo frena una tabla. Está bien, está bien. Entonces va a ser como una plaga, los puede infectar. Y se tienen que desinfectar, pero ellos con vacunas. Ok. ¡Pum! ¡Qué buen zape le metió ahí! Oh, el efecto que tienen de infecciones. Oh, los zombies. Interesting. Oh, miren, los cofres son como las cajas de items en Resident. Qué chido. Muy buen detalle. Oh, ¿saben qué estaría chido? Que los medkits aquí fueran sprays de primeros auxilios. Eso estaría muy chido. Ah, miren, hasta está la contraseña de Locker en el pizarrón. Los zombies te podrán... Ok. ¿Les puedes pegar a los zombies? ¡Ah, sí puedes! Me imagino que los zombies han de funcionar como... ¿Cómo se llama?
That's it. That's the content of the Resident Evil chapter. So I hope that you are as excited as we are.
Después de dar un bouncy. Me imagino que los zombies pueden funcionar como alarmas.
I played these games so much, I still have the original copy of Resident Evil 2 from my teens.
Uy, del 64.
So you'll be able to experience this chapter in the PTB, which will be right
Ah, ¿qué? ¿Sí?
And it will also come out.
No más, sí va a estar disponible la beta hoy. Yo pensé que no.
So I just want to finish by saying thank you to all of our community.
No, pues sí va a estar disponible la beta. Vamos a echárnosla.
And I wish you an happy 5th anniversary.
Vamos a batallar un buen para encontrar partida como killer, pero vamos a darle. Ok, ok. Parece un buen capítulo. No me siento decepcionado en que haya sido Nemesis.
So I'm so pleased to be with you, Justine, today to talk about this part of the broadcast on the roadmap for Dead by Daylight for Year 6. So we're going to present the new DLC and the new maps for next year. We're also going to talk about the 4 tomes for the archive that are coming next. And we will finish with the 4 pillars of Dead by Daylight and all the features that comes along with them. We're starting very high as well this year with a unique and incredible license. I'm so pleased to work on Resident Evil, and we can't wait to see that DLC out and see the player having fun with this. Obviously, I cannot say anything about the other DLC, top secret.
It's fine. We'll spill the beans at a later date for sure.
But something that I can say is we are going to release a total of 4 killers.
Otra vez 4 killers.
Not 4 survivors, and also 2 new maps.
Ah, 5 killers.
I think all of this is going to be some pretty exciting content for all of our players coming out. Because there's not only that. I mean, we've also, like you said, we've got 4 tomes.
Me gusta mucho el acento de la chica, sí, she's cute.
1 new tome every mid-chapter with a new survivor story, a new killer story, a story about the observer. And we want to keep on telling these as time goes on. The more original characters we create, the more stories that we have to tell.
You want to know more about this character.
Exactly, and like we've got some ways to tell this that I think we haven't even been able to show yet. So I'm really curious to see what we can actually do. And
Por cierto, quiero recalcar lo bonitos que están los sets. O sea, hace rato estábamos como en la oficina de los archivos con todos los detalles ahí. Y ahorita estamos en la fogata. Un generador, un tótem, todo ahí muy bonito.
Actually, if the players stick around, they're going to see more about that later. I'll be coming back. We have our Halloween event that is always so much fun to do. Always a lot of work. Absolute
espero que esté mejor que el del año pasado.
Something that we mentioned during the archives anniversary, and I believe it was a blog post. We are always going to focus on these events as the big ones during the year because we want them always to be big. These are the moments for our community where we want them to celebrate together and realize that, look, this is Dead by Daylight's time. Come celebrate with us. This year is going to be no exception. I think we're going to deliver on a really big anniversary, a really amazing Halloween event that's coming.
Oh, nice.
And that doesn't mean we're ignoring any of the other smaller ones. We still want to do something for winter. We want to do something for lunar. But there's something built on a smaller scale. But it's still going to be a great reason to come back into the game and enjoy DBD. So after all that, I think it's really worth looking at, what we actually have coming in year 6 with our pillars.
So we have 4 pillars that help us to create the roadmap for Dead by Daylight. The first one is the first step into the fog. This is all the features that are here for the first moment you enter into the game as a player. Then the second one is the game house. Game house is really important for us. It's really everything that is optimization, bug fix, and stabilization for the game. The third one is the realm beyond. And this is a work of visual update that we're starting to year 5. And the final one is live design.
Yeah, I think all that stuff is super interesting for us to be going into and to even dive in further so everyone knows what's going on. For the first steps into the fog, we know with Resident Evil, tons of new players are going to be coming into this game. If I was a Resident Evil fan that hadn't heard of Dead by Daylight, I know I'm going to be checking it out. So we've really taken a look at our entire tutorial process, every way that we teach players how to play Dead by Daylight, and try to identify what we need to fix.
Quiero uno de esos totem, pero de los que tienen fuego para mí. Me encantaría tener uno así adornando mi casa.
Job of teaching people, but I think we've made a great improvement, and the first step to that is by reworking the tutorial itself. So from the moment that player actually steps into the game, we're gonna really guide them through. This is what you need to learn. Then we actually have some bot matches for you to play.
Bot matches
are brand new, and I think it's going to be a very nice, safe way for players.
Oh, cierto, los bots.
How to play. And
Nos habían prometido bots hace un buen. Es cierto.
The entire thing. On top of that, we're looking at other things that have been, barriers, I would say, for players getting even deeper into the game.
No, pobre Laika, muy mal, Dani.
Being, too long.
Fuerte la pata.
So we're trying to find ways.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's it's not easy. I think you can say.
Yeah.
So what we're really looking into is ways to incentivize players to maybe play a role that has less weight or more of a need at that current point in time. If maybe you're a killer player, but we need more survivors at that time, then we'll offer you some incentive to actually go play that. On top of all that, I mean, we're constantly working on the matchmaking in the background, trying to find ways to optimize it to get you into matches faster. And the more matches you play, I think the more that you'll actually experience, sadly, with any live game, some toxicity. What we're actually working on for this is the auto ban feature. So at the end of every match, in the tally screen, there's this option where you can report a player for some negative behavior, applaud them for doing something well. And right now, this is our customer support team that is looking over it, manually. What we're doing with this change is this is going into an automated system. If players receive a certain amount of negative reports, we are going to take action.
Uy, eso
let you know
puede ser algo
that
malo.
the report is actually having an effect on this, and we're going to thank you for it. All of this is really great for our players, but I know 5 years on,
Me voy a ver
some things
así.
Dead by Daylight, like the news are still in English. That's going to change.
Nice. That's a big improvement.
I think so. I mean, even not everyone at our office is super great in English. People around the world. We're spreading even more community managers around the world to create more communities where you can engage with. It's just as important that we do this in our game as well. So as soon as you start the game, you have your language available to you.
We'll finally have the news in French. That's cool.
The next step after that is really making sure that
Ella es francesa.
we stomp as many bugs
Tal
as
vez.
possible in our game, and we take a look at game health.
Por eso el
For a game
acento.
at Dead by Daylight, which has been out for 5 years now, it's always a challenge to find the right balance between creating new content or maintaining and improving the
Por su acento chulo. Uf,
For the
sí.
first years of Dead by Daylight, we put more time and resources into creating new content because the goal was to create a rich and deep experience for the players. But now, recently, we've adjusted our roadmap because we have a lot of content that we need to support, and we've decided to improving what we have mostly.
Yeah, I think that's really a really important thing that's it's good that we're taking time for it because a lot of our earlier content, I think it was great to bring.
Yo soy muy mala reconociendo acentos. Yo también.
There's kind of a maintenance cost.
No te preocupes.
To make sure all this new content is working together properly, and that there's no issues going on.
So we have two ways of doing it. The first one is really looking at the game and see what we can do to improve it in terms of stabilization, optimization, gameplay fixes as well, but also making the game less exploitable. So that's a big chunk of things. But on the other hand, there is something that we need to take care of. We need to look at our internal processes and make sure that internally we can also improve as well as the game. And for that, as an example, we've decided recently to migrate the user interface of the game to a technology that is called UMG. It's the UI manager of
Yo hablando francés parece que tengo un gargajo atorado.
the idea here is
Es que así es el francés.
technology, and we take this opportunity to redo all our screens to also make them more performant, more modern, so we can have more features as well in the
Tiempos de bug se acercan.
Just because once that's done, every screen is going to feel fresher, and it's going to allow us to do so many more things. And I mean, speaking as a product manager, I'm pretty excited for what new things we can actually bring into the game.
Obviously, it's a long-term process. We need to keep the effort on
Dales como Goofy, por favor.
the new technology things.
Los maestros nos ponían a hacer la R con la garganta y yo siempre terminaba tosiendo.
That will be out for year 6. You will be able, as a player, to see more stabilization and only concentrate on the fun for the game. And talking about keeping and maintaining what is already there, what are coming up next for the visual update and the Realm Beyond?
So for the Realm Beyond, I think this is something that a lot of our players were really excited about when they heard about it a year ago or so when we started. It feels like it's been an eternity. This is really the project of overhauling everything in DBD to bring it to the level of all of the current content. 'Cause it's been around for 5 years, right? And let's just say, Dwight needs a fresh coat of paint.
Ah, sí es cierto, van a rehacer los modelos de estos vatos. Oh no, ¿qué le están haciendo al trampero? Su máscara no me convence.
Really just joining us or don't know what the Realm Beyond is, it is more or less that, just taking any old maps, old animations, reworking this, maybe adding in new ones to make something make more sense, like repairing a generator. You used to do the same animation no matter where you are. Now, every side is something new, and that was something really cool and immersive.
It feels more realistic. Like you can deal with it, actually.
Like you might be a little bit more immersed and forget the killers coming to get you, but I think that's the point. So on top of all of this, we're starting to look at some Survivor reworks. So I think we've already shown off a few of them, but a lot of our newer Survivors are very highly detailed, and we wanted to take the time to revisit some other ones and rework them a bit. We're aiming to really make them recognizable, but allow more flexibility with the actual visuals and just more detail overall. So on your current gen systems, it doesn't look like you're playing something from a few gens ago. Not that I'm talking about gens. So this is all the kind of stuff that they're actually going to be going over, just after this in the Realm Beyond segment. And I think it's going to be a lot of really interesting stuff that they can cover because we're not done yet. On top of all of that, I mean, one more thing that I don't think we ever stop with is just our live design and constantly tweaking it.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like we, as we do for the Game House and for the Realm Beyond, keeping and maintaining what we have, making it better, improving it, the gameplay will just follow the same rule this year. So basically, we're taking the core mechanics that we have, and we're going to make them better, to change them, to tweak them, redesign them. The idea behind this is you have been a player for a long time, for several years now. I'm sure of that.
Definitely a few.
Yeah, we want to keep you interested. We want you to connect to Dead by Daylight and just say, okay, I'm going to play something different tonight. I'm going to discover something, and it's going to be exciting. And this is what we're looking for with changing the mechanics that are already there. We have mechanics that have been there for such a long time.
Corre, Ale, corre. Tú puedes. Aquí vamos a estar.
I'm not going to enter into the details right now because Matthew Spriggan is going to do it way more better than me.
I think that's totally fair. There's honestly, whenever I look in some of the notes for some of the design changes, it really gets into it. And I know our very engaged fans are, they're reading every little bit, and it's amazing the things that we can do to keep all of these characters and elements feeling fresh. That's the core of DBD, right? It's getting to match. You don't know what you're going to find, but we want to make sure that you have a good time.
Exactly.
I think that's really just to sum up all of the pillars quite nicely, I'd say.
Yes.
So we've got tons of segments coming, and I mean, stay tuned for all this to hear more about the realm
No sé
beyond,
si entrar porque no
about
hice
live
nada.
design, community, everything. You know, stay tuned for the entire broadcast. We're happy to have you here.
A ver, espero que nos muestren el mapa de...
The choices you make as you travel into the fog are of the utmost importance.
Votaré otra vez por 2.
The choices
Votaré
you
2.
make as you travel into the fog are of the utmost importance. Now,
Ya voté por 2 otra vez. ¿Qué iba a decir? Ya se me olvidó qué iba a decir.
type either number 1 or number 2 into the chat. Make your whispers heard, and you will be rewarded.
Iba a decir algo, ya se me olvidó. Ah, sí, que muestren el mapa de lo que tienen planeado para el año 6. Que al parecer dijeron 4 killers. O sea, otra vez 4 capítulos. Pero luego dijo algo como 5 y 4 sobrevivientes. O no sé. No puse mucha atención. O me confundí, creo. Ok, número 1. Puntos de sangre. 250,000 puntos de sangre. Pues bueno, chavos, a ver. Apunten el código. O bueno, lo apunto yo, no se apuren. Ahora sí estoy aquí en Twitch. Digo en Discord. AD800947 -01 A7 4DEF 81 AD ¿por qué guiones? 4A. Bueno, ni modo. Ahora que lo pienso, ese tipo, el que dijeron que era Dwight, es como una combinación de Dwight y David. Como si hubieran hecho la fusión.
Hey
Te tomé
everyone.
captura. Gracias,
My
Alma.
name is Kayla. You might know me as Cauliflower. My question for the audience is, which map animal is just begging for some in-depth lore? Is it Maurice? Is it Mr. Moo Moo, the cow in Larry's, the hospital bed? You might not even know that there's a cow in the hospital bed. Or is it Wingy McFlapflaps from Dead Dog Saloon?
¿Quién es Maurice?
Personally, I'm gonna have to go with Moo Moo. It's a cow in a hospital bed. I need to know more. While I'm here, I just wanted to give a little shout out to my community, my Dragon Army. Thank you guys so much for supporting me over these years with my Dead by Daylight content. And thank you to the devs for
Pronuncia ese nombre
creating a
como
game
cauliflower,
that
¿sí?
has so much staying power
Cauliflower.
and so many incredible licenses. You guys have done some crazy amazing things. So thank you, because I've been able to base my career on that, and it's been huge. So thank you. Congrats on 5 years. And here's to 5 more.
Chocolate.
I feel like I wouldn't want chocolate and scam cake. I don't know why, but I love chocolate. Vanilla would be pretty yummy too now. Alright, enough about cake. I also want to thank all the DVD now and the Dead by Daylight community for being so awesome to me, and for all the years of playing, streaming, and hanging out with everyone. I really it's an amazing 5-year anniversary. And yo, remember, if you're comfy, you're winning. Have a lovely day.
Hey everyone, I'm the King, and I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Today, I have a question for you guys in the Twitch poll chat, and that question is, what noise does the Wraith's bell make? Is it bing bong, ding dong, or kling clong? I also want to wish Dead by Daylight a happy 5th year anniversary. Thank you for all of the years of fun and enjoyment and bringing everybody together. Thank you to the devs for all the hard work that you've put in over the years, and shout out to our community as well. I hope you guys got your answers in and enjoy the rest of the show.
Bing bong. Vamos a decir que es bing bong. Esa pregunta me dejó con esta cara. Nomás, ese mapa es una versión súper viejísima del juego.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
¡Oh! Se cayó.
She fell the fuck off, chat.
There she is. She's somewhat. Alright. Dude.
Karma instantáneo. Muy bonito. Perry el ornitorrinco.
Holy fuck, dude.
Oh my god, what? I didn't know you were here. Honey, that's your own fault. Why were you here?
Terrenos, 26 mapas. Modelos actualizados de los personajes. Y hay lo demás. Ya ni me acordaba cómo se veía este mapa antes. Cómo pasa el tiempo. Vean nomás. Pam, 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 pam. Pam, 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 pam.
all seen the graphic update that we've been doing the last few months, and we've talked a little bit about it as the realm beyond. To go into a little more detail, we'll talk with Phil Ivanovic, our art director, and Stéphanie Hélin, our lead level artist, about what that means. The first question I have with this, obviously everybody's question is why? Why did we decide to do this big rework, and why now?
It's a really good question. I mean, the game was out for 5 years now, as we all know, and that question of a rework was always in the back of our head, but we never found the right moment to do it because of multiple reasons. But with all the next-gen console coming out, we thought it was the right moment to bring our game on par with what is being done in the gaming industry. But we never expected the success and the longevity of the game that we have right now. We are now 5 years later, and we have all the new tools, the bigger team, and I think we can achieve what we wanted to do a while back.
Okay, so we decided it's the right moment. And then what was the vision? What was our goal going into this?
The main goal with the rework was to have a more immersive experience with the player in the game. Either in the mood with the environment or the animation. When somebody's repairing a gen, I think people really enjoy that because it's really you feel like you're.
Gracias a los 27 espectadores que siguen
We're
aquí.
always constantly listening to our player, and we make sure that we don't lose the essence of our game, but at the same time pushing new boundaries. We've been super excited with all the feedback we get, and we're really looking forward for people to see what we're coming next for them.
Todos cansados, es que yo me desvelé a lo menso ayer.
It's a big project. What are some of
Y desperté relativamente temprano.
So the main challenges with DBD, we all know that DBD is it's a game that's from 5 years ago, and it's live. So the thing is, when we try to build new environment to update those, we have old data that we're trying to rebuild, to change, and also we try to
También
fix
tiene
those
un
preferences,
acento.
and we have the new
Ah,
data as
cierto,
well.
la predicción.
And
Ahí va.
sometimes those data are clashing with each other, and we try to
Ahí va,
make
pues
sure
ganó
that it's not
Nemesis, ahí les van los
happening.
puntos.
But it's a live game, so we have to move forward, and we can't stop.
So obviously, those are big challenges. And to do that, we had to go back and essentially rethink a bunch of the tools and the pipelines that we use, right?
Yes. So we took a step back, and we just realized that our pipeline was obsolete. So, of course, the whole team, we bring the idea of, okay, we need new tools. We need to empower those artists. We need to make sure that if we want to achieve the quality that we want to achieve, we
¿Vas a streamear la beta? Sí.
make the right choices.
Sí, sí, sí.
It means evolving, rethink the way that we are creating environment, and this is the whole team work. Like, it's not only environment, it's animation, environment, textures, shading, lighting. It's a huge job.
Yeah. All right, so new tools, new pipeline. What's the future hold? What are we going to do with that?
The goal here with all of this merged together, it's to build atmosphere, mood, because after all, like DBD, it's like an horror movie.
Yep.
So we all know that DBD was more gameplay driven, but it makes sense, it's a game. But what we were lacking, it's immersion. So with all of this merged together, we're trying to bring that immersion. We had storytelling to those maps. We create like more fog, more work on the lighting. So when you experiment the game, you forget that it's a game. It's the feeling that we're trying to build.
I think there's something really cool we're going to try to do with terrain, right?
Yes, the terrain is pretty flat in DBD right now. And with the fact that we're changing and trying to evolve in the right direction with the new visual that we're trying to bring to DBD, we're going to add more relief to this terrain, and I think this will add a little bit of spice to the gameplay. We can change the perspective to how the killer or the survivor play the map.
Awesome. That's cool. And we're also going to be working on character animations, right?
Yes. Another big part of the immersion is the characters and their animation. The animation team and the character artist team did a super job. They're working on the bringing the texture on par with what we're doing right now, but also the animation team working on all those animation, like the interaction with the gen. Also, by doing so, with the texture and the animation, We want the player to connect even more to the personality of the player, of the character he's playing. And I mean, it's all connecting together. All we are doing is a big chunk that at the end, it's the immersion. It's not just one part, it's the entire work of everybody on the team.
What other cool things can people expect to see in the maps that we're making?
Well, the old rework things. Also, we wanted to add extra details, some that we already started, like jump scares. We did it with the Midwich map, and it was pretty cool. We stayed faithful with the original game, but I mean, putting it in our game was pretty cool. I think people really enjoyed it. Adding a lot of storytelling to have a bit more story to the map, not just the map. But
And what about lobbies? I know people like when we mess with the lobbies. Are we going to do that again?
Yes, we're going to keep on messing with the lobbies. I mean, it's something we've talked about in the discussion with the rework. I mean, it's super important for me and the other people on the team. It's the first thing you see when you start the game. So for us, it was important to have this first connection to what's being released, the killer. So veteran or newcomers, they immerse themselves in what's being done at the moment.
Awesome. And I know the big question that's on everybody's mind right now is, yeah, but are we going to get more maps?
Yes.
Yes, bien feliz. Pues de qué será, ¿no? Mientras sean de reinos que no hemos visto. Perdón, de reinos que casi no hemos visto.
Hi, I'm Matt, design director on Dead by Daylight. I work with the creative director
¿Qué tal,
and
Mónica?
the game design team to bring you guys amazing licensed and original chapters, killer updates, perk adjustments, accessibility features, and more. Our talented designers are constantly exploring new features and mechanics to keep trials fresh and fun for players. And I'm super excited about some of the things that we have planned for the future of Dead by Daylight. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about live design. For a game that's been out for the last 5 years, live design has become an important part of our process of updating and maintaining the game, delivering new experiences, fixing exploits, improving quality of life, and generally attempting to make the game feel fairer for everybody. When it comes to live design, we're a little more reactive to what's going on in the community and in the game. So we generally base our design decisions on 3 main factors. Feedback from the community through surveys and focus group testing, the data and information that we get from the game itself, and of course, our own design intuition and experience when it comes to looking at the changes we can make.
Okay.
It's difficult to be entirely transparent about what we're working on. While the team's in the design phase, certain features and mechanics are often still being prototyped and play tested and go through numerous changes along the way. That said, there's 3 things that we're super excited to share with you today. New killer updates and their associated timeframes. A brand new type of perk that we're working on for survivors. And finally, a bit of a shake-up to the Memento Mori system.
¿Lo van a cambiar otra vez?
Over the last few years, we've made many small adjustments to our
¿A qué otro personaje
existing killers
pusieron?
in Dead
A
by
Leon
Daylight.
y a Jill Valentine.
Some of our killers have had even more significant updates to their powers and abilities, such as the Doctor's Static Blast, the Clown's Afterpiece Antidote, and of course, the extensive overhaul of the notorious Freddy Krueger way back in 2019. And while we feel that there's still many small adjustments that we would like to make across the board, our main focus for Year 6 will be on addressing the newest killer that has come into the Dead by Daylight roster. Moving forward, we're hoping to review, update, and release small balance patches for every new killer within the next 2 to 3 major updates after they go live. And that is, of course, on top of any hotfix adjustments that we may make along the way. In this way, we can generally stick to a clearer time frame that gives us enough time to review and analyze the community feedback and the game data. Soon, when players see that a new chapter is out, they'll also be able to expect some balance changes, value tweaks, and small quality of life improvements for the previous killer in that same chapter or the mid-chapter patch after. We're also working on a brand new type of perk, something that we haven't done for a while. Unlike Hex Totem perks and Obsession perks, this new type of perk is for survivors.
Eso es muy
And
curioso.
we're hoping that it will introduce some really
Van a hacer
fun
una
and
perk
interesting
sin
gameplay
necesidad de que
moments
sea
for
DLC
survivor fans.
para...
Moon Totem perks will give a brand new interaction to survivors standing next to a dull totem. in a
Eso es
trial.
nuevo. Es eso.
I can't go into the full details about how all this works right now.
Sí, ya me
but
gustaba cómo
we
se
are
veía con
very
fuego
excited about the
amarillo.
interesting new strategies and gameplay that this will bring to the game. Not only will it give fans something new and interesting to play with, but it will also give us, as game designers, the opportunity to come up with creative new perks in the future.
Ok.
And we're looking forward to releasing the first of our Boon Totem perks
Boon
in an
Totems.
upcoming chapter. We're also looking at revisiting how
Ok.
Moris
Van a cambiar los
treated
Moris
in
otra
the
vez.
game by killers. We've been listening to the fans and seeing the effects that they can have in the game. And despite the recent changes to Mori offerings, we feel that there's a less toxic way that we can approach this element of the game. And that's something that we're going to be working on in the future. Currently, a killer can play an offering that grants them the ability to eliminate a survivor from a trial by their own hands. Before the recent changes to the Mori offerings, this allowed the killer to end the game prematurely for any unfortunate survivors that ended up on the receiving end. We're discussing a new approach now to triggering Moris that is no longer based on playing an offering, but rather integrated into the core
Eso está mucho
gameplay
mejor.
of the trial.
Eso me gusta.
This new feature would mean that, in effect, killers have to earn their Moris rather than be granted the opportunity by simply playing an offering.
Qué chido, porque eso te da espacio para poner otra ofenda y no gastarla.
Of Moris being a toxic part of the game towards something that's seen as more
¿Qué tal,
of a
Angie?
natural progression of the trial. We're hoping to deliver an interesting new game mechanic that not only provides new objectives and new strategic decisions, but also gives the survivors the opportunity to choose whether or not they engage with the system or ultimately
Yo quería ver a Chris
deal with the
rompiendo rocas, ahorita
consequences of
pegándose
that
los
choice.
brazos con agüita mágica.
Again, I can't go into too many details right now as it's still in the very early stages and is likely to go through many significant changes before it's ready for release. Having said that, this is a feature that we, the Dead by Daylight design team, are really excited about prototyping and playtesting, and we can't wait to see your reactions once it hits live servers. As a small bonus, we're also looking to prototype an update to the key item in the
Ok,
game.
van a cambiar las
And this would
llaves.
tie in directly with the Mori system gameplay,
Ah.
so look out for that one as well.
Uy, eso suena,
That's it from me.
suena raro.
We'll have more on how these elements are developing over the coming year, so keep an eye out for news and updates. And thank you for your continued support
Ya
over
me
the
dio
last
hambre.
5 years.
Creo que pedí algo de comer porque ya no fui a la cocina. Bueno, tengo que ir, pero voy a aprovechar unos descuentos que tengo.
Die Hard Diva, and I just want to give a huge congratulations to Dead by Daylight on the 5 amazing years. What a crazy.
Eso de los Moris suena bien, pero lo de las llaves, eso sí suena un poco extraño, o un poco, me da miedo. Porque por sí mucha gente se queja de que ahorita las llaves están rotas porque pueden reparar y todos irse por la escotilla antes de incluso terminar los generadores. Entonces, no sé. Si nada más puedes hacer los Moris en el endgame, pues a lo mucho podrías hacer uno. Claro, si eres un killer muy muy bueno y tienes todo lo que es cuestión de al azar a tu favor, pues podrías matarlos a todos, pero en la mayoría de los casos, en el endgame yo me vería que andas haciendo un Mori por juego. Y eso no está tan chido, digo. Pierdes mucho tiempo haciendo la animación del Mori Lo cual mejor podrías intentar para tratar de obtener otra kill en el endgame. Así que quién sabe cómo lo vayan a hacer. Moviendo los huesos nomás ahí.
And I want to wish Dead by Daylight a happy 5th anniversary. As the consultant for the All Killed chapter, my question for the viewers is, what does the trickster say in his Mori? Is it 1, welcome, good show?
No entiendo nada, pero sigue siendo mejor que hacer la tarea. No, Car, esa es tu tarea.
Or 3, go crazy, good scream. I want to thank Dead by Daylight for standing and supporting me. See you in the fog.
¿Por qué todo el mundo hace el corazón así todo mal? O sea, se supone que el corazón se hace con la punta de los dedos porque es un corazón. Pero ya todo el mundo pone el pulgar a la mitad del índice y ya ni parece un corazón. ¿Qué diablos? ¿Es una V o qué? Y la escotilla está ahí al lado. Qué triste. Es un corazón más chiquito. Es que ponen el pulgar. Ya sé que es un corazón. Ese no es mi problema. Mi problema es que están poniendo el pulgar muy abajo en el dedo índice y dejan un buen espacio. O sea, ya no parece un corazón, pues. Es lo que estoy tratando de decir. El tigre, ¿qué tal? Saludos. ¿Sufrieron un infarto? No sé qué tiene que ver eso, pero bueno. Ya no sabemos hacer un corazón, dice. Pues ustedes no sé, yo hablo del tipo. Y que lo he visto mucho así en streamers que últimamente lo hacen, o sea, el corazón, pero les digo, dejan mucho espacio del índice y hacen como una V en vez de un corazón. Qué bonito. Qué chido está esa cosa. ¡Ah! ¡Es una consola!
Hello, Dead by Daylight. Happy anniversary from the world headquarters of Ghostface. This is RJ Torbert at Fun World, wishing you all the very best. And we're very proud and pleased to be a part of your family and hope to be for many more years to come. All the best. Congratulations.
Let's talk a little bit about how we're going to celebrate.
Provecho, nos vemos, Rose Gamer.
And to help me do this, with me I have Not Queen, our lead community manager, and returning after public outcry for his...
A ver, ¿era una consola? ¿Era una Xbox One y una Play?
Well, just...
Y las van a regalar. ¡Es una Play 5! Y un Xbox, me imagino que esta es la serie X, aunque no parece. Creo que es una serie S. ¡No manches! ¡La van a regalar! ¿Qué pasado de lanza? Está bien perrona. ¿What? Wow.
More than what we just talked about today, so follow us. Now, how are we going to start this?
Okay, so before we hop onto like all the activities around anniversary, I want to say, with Resident Evil coming into Dead by Daylight, this is a big thing for us, and we're preparing the arrival of a lot of new players. So what we want to ask our veterans, our expert players, is
Hola, soy veterano. No soy experto, pero soy veterano. Sí.
We know that Dead by Daylight's big. It can be a little overwhelming when you start, so...
Bienvenidos.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a lot of tips and tricks on our social media. We're inviting our veterans to join in and add to it. And we're inviting all of the new players to like follow us and check out and maybe learn a thing or two about Dead by Daylight.
Awesome. Perfect. Now, let's get into the actual celebrations.
Yes. So one thing that we started doing this year is hiring community artists to do art for us. So we had a Discord and Twitch emotes and
Oh, cierto. ¿Irán a mostrar a los ganadores del concurso de skins que hicieron?
So knowing that, we love hiring community artists. Now we have a new project for you. So we're teaming up with the merch store, and we are doing a call to artists for designing of a new community line on the merch store.
That's awesome. And to make it clear, this is not a contest.
No, it's not a contest. This is us asking you, like, show us your portfolio, show us what you got, and we're going to hire some of these people to create that new line.
Ahí está. Bueno, pues a artistas que les interese DBD, mándense el portafolio.
As you said, it's month of June, and so it's Pride Month.
Es mi mes. Sí.
Celebrating Pride Month, and
Sí, yo soy Pride. Y nací en junio, así que es mi mes.
We want to celebrate a little bit bigger. So we're planning on a big event celebration called #Into the Rainbow.
Sí, me encantan los... Me encantan los arcoíris. ¿Cómo supieron que me gustaban?
If you want to join the celebration in game as well. So we have this new charm, this new Pride charm.
Hey, gracias. Me están celebrando a mí. Gracias.
Exactly.
Soy Pride. Yo soy Pride. Ahí lo dice arriba o abajo.
To add to the collection of emotes we had for Pride last year, so we're gonna add a more diverse roster to our crows.
Amazing. All right. What else we got?
All right. So it's been 5
Qué
years
honor.
that Dead by Daylight's been out. We've been reached out by a ton of community members with everyone with their own stories about Dead by Daylight, how Dead by Daylight impacted their life. We had weddings. We had babies.
Yeah, I signed so many babies.
Matt signed so many babies. Anyways, so to celebrate our 5th year anniversary, we're asking you to share your Dead by Daylight story. So use #DBD community on social media, and we're going to keep an eye on that hashtag, and we're going to make sure to reshare and give you some visibility on how Dead by Daylight impacted your life and how it created great friendships.
That's amazing. Can't wait to read that. Now, I hear people screaming right now about, yes, but what about in the game? And that's where you come in, Justin. Please tell us.
Well, I'll tell you. So we've got a 2-week period where we're actually going to have this entire in-game event going on.
De julio 1 al 15.
During this whole period, in every trial, no matter where you are, you're going to find these crown pedestal items appearing.
Otra vez.
They'll pop up, disappear if you're too late to gather them, but if as a survivor or a killer, you can find them, interact with it, and then as a survivor, either escape or a killer, finish your match. What's going to happen is you will then unlock a crown cosmetic for this character.
Otra vez, vuelven las coronas. Nice.
That are exclusive to this event. The design of them is, exclusive for this year, and they're only available on our original characters.
Of course.
So I think this is going to be really fun for everyone to try to collect for their whole inventory of original characters that we created over this, this crazy period of 5 years now.
Por si alguien no consiguió coronas el año pasado, puede tenerlas este año. No está mal.
So, one fun way we like to celebrate the anniversary in game is with a lot of confetti.
No. Okay.
They're pretty fun. So there's gonna be a lot of items in the blood web that you can find as a survivor to bring in, and we're talking toolboxes, medkits, flashlights, things that are just gonna be fun to use.
Pueden repetirme lo de las artistas. Van a pedirle a la comunidad de DBD que los artistas manden su portafolio para hacer una línea de merchandising.
Balloon animals.
Probably 1, probably 2. The 3rd, you're not getting that one.
All right.
It's not happening.
It's okay.
But one fun thing that we're doing this year, and is a big reason why I'm actually here with community, is because anniversary is a very special time of the year where, this is about DBD, this is about the community, because DBD is nothing without all these players that are supporting us. And so we wanted to do something a little different this year.
Okay.
Yep. So
creo que regalen una skin o dos.
The community challenges around the in-game event. For people that were there back in the first year, first anniversary, we had some legendary challenges where the community all got together and unlocked some items in the game. Now, we want to do it again.
Yeah, so I think
caray, eso sí, no sé qué es, me lo perdí.
Players asking, we want to do more stuff as a community, we want to be able to work together. So I think this year we're going to be doing it in a very fun way, because we've got some rewards that we're actually going to give out from these, like an outfit for David King, and another one for the Wraith, both themed after the anniversary with the gold lines and everything.
Okay. Como los del año pasado, no está mal.
One a nice little cake topper for DBD, and another one as a little naughty bear, which if you know behavior, maybe you know this guy.
They know.
He's worth checking out.
Yeah.
So on top of this, there's other really cool things, but the question is, okay, how do you actually unlock this? Where do you find out how to get them? and that's all on our socials.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort, guys.
It's no effort at all.
But what else is there?
So, on top of all this, because we have so many characters that have actually been created and are loved over this 5-year period, we want to try to find a way to give some out to players. You know, if there's one you've been waiting on, this is going to be your chance, because during the first week of the anniversary, we're going to give away enough iridescent shards for you to unlock one original character.
Nice.
And this doesn't matter if you arrive, 1 day or 2 days late, because maybe you have homework, there's an exam.
Okay.
No matter when you arrive, even towards the end, you're going to get enough to get one of these characters.
That's awesome. Is that too much, though?
I mean, I don't think we've gone far enough.
Oh my God! Do go on.
On top of that, if you have all these characters, like I know some of our super engaged players do, what we're actually going to do on top of this is something fun with our Shrine of Secrets, which, if you're new to the game, the Shrine of Secrets is a tab inside the store where we have a set of 4 perks that changes every week that you can purchase with iridescent shards. And this is so, you don't necessarily have to purchase a character to get their perks, as long as you stay tuned and see what's going on. So for the event, what we're doing is for this entire 2-week period, every day, we're going to cycle those perks. So this is going to happen 7 times as often, and the cost of those is going to be 500 shards less.
Eso está bien.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Eso está bien para la gente que no tiene todos los DLC.
Well, thank you very much.
Me parece muy bien.
For joining me and telling people everything that's happening. That's not everything that's happening. Follow us on social for more.
Fanterosen, pues síguelos en Twitter. Ahí seguramente van a dar las bases y los detalles para todo eso. Y se me hace más fácil de seguirlos en Twitter que en Discord, así que síguelos por ahí.
Thank you to all of our fans out there, content creators. Thank you to all of our partners. And I'm going to say the thing now that you've been wanting me to say for the whole show. PTB is live. You can go and play the Resident Evil chapter right now.
Yeah.
So go, have fun, and I will see you in the fog. Oh shit, Funko Pops are coming.
Oh, Funko Pops, ok. Espero que estén chiditos. Todos reciben 10 Rift Fragments, espero. O si es un código, pues no lo veo. Entonces todos tienen 10 gratis ahorita que entren al juego. Esperemos que sí. Gracias. Ay, ok. No mostraron el mapa del año 6, o sea, no sabemos más o menos cuándo va a salir. Ah, miren, ahí está el código de los 250. Es el mismo, ¿no? Sí, es el mismo. Ok, es el mismo. Si alguien le empezaba a sacar captura, no lo haga, gracias. No sé qué pedir. ¿Qué pido? ¿Pizza o hamburguesa? ¿Qué opinan? Muy bien, pues vámonos. Vámonos a la beta. Pizza.